Hello, you guys. It's Sharing Hope, and we're so happy that you're with us. My name is Sharita. I am your host for today, and we have a really, really special guest for you. Alli Worthington. She is a speaker, she's an author, a podcaster, a business coach. She's a wife, she's a mom, and you are going to love her. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her bio, and then you're going to get to meet her and hear some great things from her. Alli is the author of The Year of Living Happy, Fierce Faith, A Woman's Guide to Fighting Fear, Wrestling Worry and Overcoming Anxiety. I want to read that one. She's also written Breaking Busy, Finding Peace and Purpose in a World of Crazy. She's a speaker, like I said, podcaster, business coach. Her goal is to help women reach the next level. And Alli has co-founded Called Creative. So I'm excited to hear about that. They help individuals and small business owners. She's also worked with Fortune 500 companies, and she's amazing. She's funny, she's witty and wise, practical, down to earth, really real. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm kind of fangirling, Alli. Thank you for joining us, Alli. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. I mean, like you said, I'm a mom. I have 5 boys, and they are all at my house, like kids are these days. So I've asked, please no Nerf gun battles while I'm recording. But who knows? I have had a child come in here, and a Nerf bullet has gone right past it. So there's no telling what can happen.
Yes, girl, I have one son, so I understand the spirit of that. I know you got it times 5, but I was totally fangirling over introducing you because I know we talked right before we came on, and I just want to share with everyone. Alli came into my life through like a women's conference like years ago. And she's just someone that I've always been inspired by and watched. So I just want to honor you in that way, Alli, and say thank you, because something that, like I said, stood out to me was your authenticity, your realness, and your joy and your fun. But what I loved about you is that it's not like a surface thing, it's real, and I know we're going to unpack so many things because it's easy to look at people who are successful. You're out here changing the world, helping these companies, writing books, but you've also been at the bottom too. And so that's what I love about you, is that you're real. You're very real. So where do you want to start today? I know, do you want to talk about your books, the podcast? I'm going to let you kind of launch us out. Where do you want to go first, girl?
Yeah, I think, well, you mentioned I'm somebody that's kind of been to the bottom, and that addresses a lot of what people are either going through right now or scared to go through. So in 2008, I was a stay-home mom with my 5 boys, living the life that I always thought I was going to live. And in 2007, my husband lost his job, and we lived in the Nashville area, and we were like, we're not moving. We're going to stay here. We're going to raise our kids here. And 2008 came around, and there was no job. And we ended up getting a short sale offer on our home. So we were like, great, we moved out. That short sale fell through. So the home went into foreclosure. We filed for bankruptcy. Me, my husband, 5 kids. The youngest was 4 weeks old. Move in with my grandfather. Lost everything except what would fit into 2 storage units and 2 little portable storage units. And we would drive to McDonald's Playland every day, use their Wi-Fi, like buy French fries and ice cream cones, because that's what we had money for. He would apply for new jobs, and I would Google how to make money on the internet, how to build a business on the internet. And he did get another job. We settled back in the Nashville area, and I just kind of took off with, hey, the internet actually works. I can raise my kids and build online. So now I have this interesting career where half of what I do is in ministry, half of what I do is in business. But I have been through financially the worst of the worst. So when I give counsel or I'm coaching people through, like, yes, you may go through some hard times, or you may be afraid of hard times, but God will see you through. We look back at that and go, that financial downfall was the best thing that ever happened to us, because it got us back on track. Wow. It got us back saying, we think in a lot of area of our lives, we need adult supervision, and Lord, come in and take over.
Yeah.
And that for us changed everything. And so I think a lot of people have messages of hope to share, but I'm coming in with a message of hope going, I've been through it.
Amen.
You're going to be okay. Even if it seems like nothing is going to ever be okay again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love you. So people, you are watching. This is what I'm saying. It's easy to, there's so many voices. It's easy to consume information, but you really want to test the fruit and the spirit and the action of who you're listening to. And I think, Alli, that's why I love you, because you're just what you shared is so real, and people can relate to that, going through those tough times. So you've been tried and tested, and refined. And so that means a lot, girl, because, it's some snake oil salesmen out here that ain't,
True. That's true. And I mean, it's one of those things where what we're going through now is it's so unheard of. So it's important to kind of look for people to go, who's been through stuff real bad though?
Right.
Because at least help me understand, because to some degree, nobody knows what's going on.
Sure.
But at least we can lean on people, and I'm leaning on people in a new way to going, okay, you've been through this situation. You've been through this. Tell me what you've learned. Tell me what I can pick up and carry with me. That's really, really important.
Yeah.
Especially as we're all trying to manage the fear that's coming at us all the time. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100% spot on. So what would you say to people right now if they're, adjusting? Because I know you work with so many small business owners, you work with Fortune 500 companies and really help them get results. What would you say to people during this time if they're, maybe starting a new career, or if they, have always had this dream or this idea? What can we learn from this time? What advice would you give?
Well, here's what's interesting. The most important thing we can do right now is manage how fearful we are. Because what is happening to a lot of people, whether you've lost your job or whether you're worried you're going to lose your company, whatever level you're in right now, in the middle of all of this, we're freaked out.
Yeah.
And worry starts happening as soon as you wake up. And it'll keep going if you let it until the time you go to sleep. So the first 2 weeks of everyone staying home, like after the World Health Organization announced as a pandemic, I was pretty freaked out. Yeah. What's going to happen to us? What's going to happen to my friends? What's going to happen? I mean, all those scenarios. Is my husband going to get sick? All of those things, because he battles a severe case of adult onset asthma. So I can't let him get this. So all those scenarios go through our head. And what I did was I literally scheduled on my schedule quality freakout time. That's what it says. One day it was a whole hour and a half. One day it was 30 minutes. And what it does is it tricks your brain into stopping the worry that happens all the time. Because if that worry comes in at 9:30, I'll be like, nope, from 2 to 3, I get to read the news. And I get to go on Twitter and see what all the epidemiologists are saying. And I get to read all that scary stuff and worry about. I can't go there until 2 p.m. today. And that's how I got through the first 2 weeks.
I love that. Now, I know we've had a ton of interviews, and someone else was talking about fear. It's come up quite a bit. And you're reminding me so much of this, like not letting fear drive the car, right?
Yep.
You're saying to fear, you can sit over here, we're going to push you back.
I will deal with you later. It is okay to have time where I'm worried and where I'm reading all the stuff that's scary and I'm doing all that, but it can't take over the day. And here's the thing about tools like this. When we want to look for things that really are life-changing, we want them to be complex. We want them to show up here. We want a 3-ring binder for all the work that we're going to do to feel better. Yeah. When really the tools that work the best are the easiest, like scheduling in worry time. That is huge. And you mentioned, business for people who wanted to start a business for the first time. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but what we need to do right now with things being so uncertain is to look for the things that people actually have needs with. This isn't a time for luxury dog walkers.
Right.
We don't need that. It's a time for people who can go online and say, hey, anybody want me to call in for 30 minutes on Zoom with your child and teach Algebra 1? I'd be like,
yep.
Yes. My math skills end at 5th grade.
Same, girl.
Right?
Same. I tapped out at fractions. I was like,
Oh,
we're good. Peace. I don't need this. I'm good.
I bring my husband in for fractions. Say, I don't need this. I'm not a mathematician.
Yep.
If I can't Google it, it's not going to happen. So I think right now with business, and a lot of businesses are doing this, they're pivoting because they're like, we have all of these things we do that have been really successful in making money through the years. But in this season, and we don't know how long the season is going to go on, in this season, we're going to look for the ways that we can serve people's needs. That's the key right now. And it's working really well for a lot of people. And of course, there's a big shift online, which is great because I've been saying since 2008, online's where it is.
Yes.
The great thing about the internet, there's lots of great things about the internet. I like to say with God and Google, we're unstoppable.
Amen.
He'll tell us what to do, and then Google will tell us how to outwork it, right?
I love that.
Anything we want to know is available on the internet. You can search it and find information. And for so many of us, maybe we didn't grow up in the right family or the right situation, or we don't have a college degree or this, or all these things that tell us that we're not good enough. The internet doesn't care.
Good
the
point.
internet just cares that you can help somebody, that you can, whatever issue they have, you've got an answer for. And everybody has great skills that they can put to use. It's just changing that mindset from, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough education, to I got ways I can help people. Everybody is an expert at something, but we all think we're not.
Oh, that's so good. I'm scribbling down notes as you're talking, because you're talking about serving other people. And I love that with God and Google, we're unstoppable. Something you said reminded me, you remember Groundhog Day? Somebody was talking about that movie and how it feels like we're in Groundhog Day, every day while we're in quarantine. But they brought out this rich insight that the way he broke that cycle was to start thinking about others. And so I just hear you saying that today, like the power of, putting our attention on how can we help and serve others. And then something else you mentioned was confidence. And so I just thought, can you maybe unpack that a little bit more? That topic, what do we do if we're struggling with confidence, if the fear is kind of crushing our hope?
Yeah, confidence is one of those things where I think people think you're born with it. Like, I'm born with curly hair, or I'm petite, or I'm tall. I'm confident, or I'm not. Confidence is something that we learn. And it's not there. Of course, you will always run across children who just from day one, they're confident, they're ready to take over the world. But for 99.9% of us, it's not like that. Confidence only comes from us taking action.
Wow.
One small step at a time. Whatever it is we need to do, confidence is like a muscle, and we build it. Just like you're going to learn how to get strong and start lifting weights. I don't know. If you're me, you're going to use 2-pound weights. Or maybe, like I did a workout video at home, she had 5-pound weights. I had no weights. I was still sore.
Yeah, honey. And when they're like, take a break, I'm like, okay, let's breathe. I'm like, pause. Yeah, give me my 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then she's like, you can go up to 10-pound weights later. And I was like, if I go up to 1-pound weights, that'll be a miracle. But point is, you're building your muscle. Confidence is like that. And sometimes we just have to take one small step. We can send one email, schedule time to learn something for 30 minutes, call a friend that we haven't talked to in years. Because I feel like there's something going on with quarantine. All these people who've been bad to us, or we've been bad to them, we're calling them up like, sorry, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
The more we do, the more we try, the more we take these little tiny steps, the more we build the muscle of confidence. But it is so powerful to realize it's not something we have or don't have. It's something that has to be built. That's the only way to get it.
Girl, I'm taking notes, honey. If y'all are watching, I hope you're writing this stuff down, because it is easy to think you got to do this. And I can be this way. I got to do these 1,500 steps, and then I'm going to get there, and it's just the next one. The binder. When you held that up, girl, I felt that. I felt that in my spirit. I did. And I even love what you said about forgiveness, because I know my heart has been stirred to let go of some things. Yep. Just let it go, Sharita. You know what I mean? Move on. It's time to put that stuff aside. If you owe amends, make them. If somebody owes you, forgive them, whether they do it or not. So I love the things that you're sharing.
I was just talking to a girlfriend this morning about how all of the things we used to be worried about don't really matter anymore.
Don't matter.
We have, and she said, in peacetime, we can worry about what's insignificant.
Ooh, girl, I hope these people are writing this stuff down, Alli. Y'all better write this down. Insignificant.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a word. That's a word. Okay. So I know you have written all these amazing books. So, and I told you guys at the top, I'm going to get Wrestling Worry and Overcoming Anxiety, because I feel like, and I don't know if it's generational or just this time, especially, leading up to quarantine, anxiety. You hear it, everyone talking about it. And I don't know if I always felt that way or gradually ramped up.
Nobody talked about it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody felt it. Like, it's funny how you watch those shows that are set that kind of make fun of life back then, and it has all the housewives, they're like drinking all the time or all that. It's because nobody talked about their feelings.
Girl, y'all, notes. You hear me? No. That is so true.
Because you either talk about them or you stuff them. And if you stuff them, there will be worse and worse methods to try to stuff them. And it's funny, I used to not admit that I ever had a problem being worried or being afraid. I feel like fear, anxiety, and worry, it's all the same big ball of emotions. Like, if we could try to break them apart, but it doesn't really matter. The truth is we don't feel good.
Right.
And I used to say, well, I don't have an issue with fear or anxiety. I'm just stressed. When stress was almost always worry about something. And there's something powerful about just saying, I'm afraid of this. I'm worried about this. Because what we want to do is, I feel like what worry wants to do in our lives is it wants to take over and it wants to cloud our whole lives. And what we need to do is we can't control everything. We know we can't control what goes on in the world, especially the world we're living in now. But there are things we can do to get a little semblance of control. Like, we can go, okay, I'm gonna control when I worry. I'm going to schedule that in for 2 p.m. today and not let it take over my life. There's things we can do. What I did in the first week of this, I was worried about finances like everybody else in the world. I went through and said, okay, what do I not need? And I kept the things that maybe weren't crucial, but were an investment in my future. So online learning tools where I'm educating myself and I'm learning things, I kept that. But my monthly beauty box with beauty samples, that one has to go, right? Yeah. And so it just gives that little semblance of control. And to some degree, just going through and knowing, okay, here's the money we have coming in. Here's the money that goes out. It makes us not have that sense of existential dread when we have to open up our checking account online, be like, I don't even want to know what's in there. That causes anxiety. So just going, what are the little things I can do that are healthy and good and give me a little semblance of control? It can help us not feel out of control in this crazy world we're in.
See, and that's good because you're saying, like, face it head on. And we did the same thing at our house too. Like, what can we, let go of during this time and what do we need to hold on to? But I think when you look at it, right, and when you name it, I'm stressed, I'm worried, it's all one thing. Doesn't that give you like, I feel like an opening or something for the Holy Spirit even to come in and start ministering to like whatever that deep thing is, right?
Because if we don't reveal it, if we don't say, this is what I'm going through, if we don't reveal it and take it to the Lord, he's not going to heal it. We got to go.
We're holding it because we're holding it, right? We're kind of holding it back from him.
Yeah. Unless we admit how we're feeling, we're not going to take it to him. Say, help me through this. Because that's the number one thing that we all need.
That's good. That's good. So I feel like, are we kind of getting probably a little taste of what it's like, to work with you? If you were my business coach, I'm sure you're helping me build my business, but you're probably also giving me some of these type of insights too, I'm guessing. Will you tell us, like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I work with a wide variety of people, from people who are just starting their businesses to people who own large, massive companies. And so with everyone, it's a little bit different. It's been really interesting this past month, just navigating with everybody, like, hey, here's how we're going to get through this. Here's what we're going to do. Because every week it seems like new things are coming at us. It's like a big game of whack-a-mole. But yeah, I work on everything from business strategy to leadership, how to manage your team well. For women especially, I work with a lot of women, not just on building their success and building their revenue, but also being able to enjoy it.
Because sometimes a good word. That is a good word.
Sometimes we're able to build it, but we're working so hard that we're feeling burnout and we can't actually enjoy the success we have.
Woo, that's good. That's
Mhm.
good, girl.
And of course, me as someone who has devoted my life in the ministry to writing books and helping women, I also, depending on the client, will do a lot of coaching on relationships and family and parenting. So once I'm working with somebody, I'm all in. We'll put it
I
there.
love that because it's holistic. It's
Yeah.
holistic. So we got to talk about your books, and
Oh
I want
yeah.
to talk about your podcasts before we go. And can we say you just finished a book? Is it okay to say this?
It's okay. Yeah, we were saying
Yay!
earlier, I have a new book coming out September 29th and just finished the final edits yesterday at 5:00. I haven't told
Woohoo!
anybody anything about it. So can you be first?
We're exclusive. Sharing hope. We get an exclusive. How cool.
It's
Okay,
called Standing Strong. And
girl.
the subtitle is A Woman's Guide to Overcoming Adversity and Living with Confidence. I
Okay.
did I
The
didn't
timing.
know
Whoop.
I didn't know that this is what was going to be needed in this world when I started writing it, but
Wow.
God did.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. Can you get over the timeliness of that? Oh my
That's
goodness.
crazy.
Wow.
And it's funny when I asked him for my next book, what's my next book going to be about? Kind of gave me this vague, strange message. And I thought, well, that's weird. I must have had some bad chicken or something. And then I went back a week later. I was like, hey, like I never asked him, hey, Laura, what's the next book going to be about? And he was like, I already told you. So I had a few months going, okay, I've
Oh,
got this vague, weird message. Let me figure out what he wants me to say. And it comes out this fall. I'm really excited.
oh my goodness. I'm so happy to hear that. And you said something that I feel like, ooh, I want to unpack that. You said you asked God what your next book was going to be. And girl, that just hit me because I thought, how many times do we just take off or come up with an idea? Oh, please unpack that for us. Like, tell us about that. Asking God what your next book is going to be. That's
Oh, I ask
beautiful.
him about all the big things. Sometimes I hear answers. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think I hear an answer and then quickly he'll clarify and be like, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
Um, it comes in a few different ways. I have a couple of friends who are just tremendous women of prayer. And sometimes if I feel like I'm hearing something from the Lord about where I'm supposed to go in the next season, I will ask for confirmation. And a couple of different times they both called me up and been like, this sounds crazy. But I was
Wow.
praying this morning and the Lord said X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, sure enough.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
see, that's a gift right there, girl, because I have friends like that too. And I just feel like as you continue to unpack that, we got to pause right there. You got to check who you're hanging with and who you're talking
Yes.
to and who you're spending time with. That is real.
You got to
That's a
check
good
the
point.
fruit. I
Yeah.
always say you don't ask somebody that's been married 9 times for marriage advice.
True.
You
True.
know, like you don't ask people what their opinion is on where the Lord's leading you if they're not praying every day.
Amen.
It's one of those things. No one would ask me for workout advice. You got to check the fruit.
You look amazing. But I just feel like, man, especially for times like these, because I know for me, I don't even like being around people who are negative. I love them, but I'm going to love them from over there. You know what I mean?
We got enough coming at us every day.
That's true.
Enough. And so it's a lot of trial and error through the years, but a lot of just kind of going, okay, Lord, I either tell me what's happening next, interrupt me if I'm doing anything wrong. Cause sometimes I'll be like, okay, Lord, I'm going in this direction.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anything from you, but if you don't want me to go in this direction, can you make it loud and clear? And he always is loud and clear when I'm not supposed to be doing something.
That's good. And then the flip side that I want to kind of address, because you can also get into, I'm waiting to hear from God. I'm waiting to hear from God. I'm waiting to hear from God. What about that? Yeah.
It's here, the Bible verse that drives me crazy because it's accurate in context, but people use it all the time as an excuse to do nothing, is be still and know I'm God, or the Lord fights for me. I'm just going to wait. No. One of the key points in this new book is partnership with God. God chooses partnership to do his work on earth. God asked Noah to build that ark. Noah had to work for 100 years to build that ark. How many people before Noah, I wonder, did God ask to build the ark? Who chose not to partner with him? Who was like, I think I had some bad hummus.
Yeah.
It hasn't rained in all these decades, but I feel like I'm supposed to build a big boat. Mm-mm. And I imagine how Noah felt 20 years into it, slinging that hammer.
Yeah.
40 years into it going, am I crazy? I don't know. But God partners with people. God has seen me through 100 finish lines, but he has never laced up my shoes for me.
I hope y'all are writing this stuff down. Girls, these are good. This is good.
God operates on this earth in partnership. And I'm a big believer that we go, okay, Lord, what do you want done on this earth? Like, yes, we all started in the Garden of Eden, but God didn't plan for it to stay a garden forever. He planned for technology. He planned for homes. He planned for factories. He planned for 2-day Amazon Prime. That is from the Lord. And he partners with people to build these good things that benefit the earth.
Now, see, that's a good point, Allie, because I think we can get stuck in wanting it to be the way it used to be or the way it's always been. And we're getting pushed into something new right now, almost collectively,
100%.
correct? You know?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, I think back on the shift that happened in this country when we went from an agricultural society of farmers to cities and factories. Everybody in that generation was like, what? Now, I love farmers, and
absolutely.
I'm all for farmers. I think it's terrific. I joke that I'm Farmer Alli because I keep trying to garden and I'm terrible at it, but I want to grow. But we're going through this shift now where we have a whole generation of people going, and here's the thing, God's in control. He knows what's going on. He's not in heaven looking around going, well, would you see that? I did not plan on COVID-19. All my plans aren't accurate anymore. He, for whatever reason, he is allowing us to go through what he's allowing us to go through. And it's our job to go, okay, I'm going to lean on you. I'm going to know that you're good. I'm going to know that you're faithful. I'm going to know that you don't abandon your people. And I'm going to try to partner with you to bring about whatever it is you want in this world, whether it's in my home, with my family, or in my work, whatever it is. He partners with us to make his kingdom on earth, this side of heaven, what he wants it to be. It's going to be great when we get to heaven, but we don't have to just sit and huddle on earth and wait for it.
Yeah. Girl, church, #church.
You get me going on partnership with God and I'll talk forever.
It's beautiful because you have this great marriage of your faith and spirituality and your work. And I think for all of us, that's the goal, and it's easy to get way out of balance. Like you were talking about earlier.
Well, and if I can say, that's what I was talking to my friend about this morning. I said, can you believe that just a few months ago, there was this conversation between business versus ministry and keeping it separate? None of that matters anymore. None of that matters. And I hope what all of this does is helps everybody understand that whether you're bagging groceries or you're taking care of your kids or you're a landscaper or you run your business, it is kingdom work. It's important because it's partnering with God on what he wants to do on this planet.
Amen. You matter. Okay, so is your podcast like this? Is it you sharing these tips and advice? Tell us about the podcast.
Oh, yeah. So the podcast is the Alli Worthington Show. Every week, the first 30 minutes or so, I interview somebody that I want to learn from. So fun people like Bob Goff or Lisa Turkhurst, or I had my favorite episode this year was with Beth Moore because Beth just let it all hang out.
Girl, I love her. I feel like she's my aunt or my cousin.
You got to listen to that episode.
I will.
I make her tell some funny stories that are hilarious. So that's the first half of the show. Second half of the show, I answer questions from people about life or faith or business. So a little bit of everything.
Oh, man. Nice. So if you did not know Alli before now you do. You have no excuse. You need to connect with her. And Alli, tell us, where can we find you online, your website? Give us all the deets.
Yeah, on Instagram, that's where I hang out most. I'm Alli Worthington, and Alli Worthington on Facebook, and my website is alliworthington.com, and I have a free Friday devotional if anybody'd like to sign up there.
Nice. That is awesome. Well, you guys, I could keep talking to Alli forever and keep taking notes. I have a whole page of notes. So I hope that this has blessed your heart and that you have picked up on the wisdom and the heart of who Alli is, her love for God, and just the exceptional mark she's making in the world. Alli, thank you so much. And I'm going to listen to that Beth Moore podcast today.
Thanks. It's been great to join you.
Yeah, thank you.